Testosterone cypionate or enanthate, they don't really care which. They'll mix and match. It doesn't matter. Whatever they have on hand. But testosterone cypionate or enanthate, 2,500 milligrams per week, about going up to 4,000 milligrams, all the way up to 5,000 milligrams. And I'm sure there's people that go higher, but this is just, what I know for certain. Especially before training or before meets. Testosterone suspension or testosterone no ester. Listen up, guys. The reason for this is DHT, dihydrotestosterone. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Seth Spartan here, nutrition, training, and hormone expert and Prometheus Pro bodybuilder with Prometheus HRT, the world's best testosterone and hormone replacement clinic. Guys, today we're going to be talking about the greatest anabolic steroid of all time for strength gains, or best anabolic steroid, whatever you want to call it. So, guys, I want to start this video off and preface this by saying, do not, under any circumstance, do what we are going to be talking about in this video. If you hypothetically do any of the stuff we're talking about in this video, you're going to clog your arteries full of plaque, and most likely you're going to 40, 50 years old, suffer a heart attack and pass away. So I want to preface this: do not do anything we are going to be talking about in this video. We are just going to be talking about what the world's strongest, most powerful powerlifters, strongmen, and other strength athletes are doing. But again, do not do any of this stuff. All of this comes with a cost. Guys, having said all that, let's get started. So first and foremost, guys, what is the greatest anabolic steroid for strength gains? The greatest anabolic steroid of all time for strength gains is none other than testosterone. Plain old, simple, natural testosterone. Guys, at the lower levels, it's debated, what are the strongest powerlifters doing? What are the strongest guys doing? There's a lot of debate, but, when you get down to, the gist of it, when you get down to the truth of the matter, they are just using extremely high doses of testosterone. And why? Why? One simple reason, guys: because it works. Because it works really, really, really well for strength gains. Now, I want to note, guys, if you have not watched my 2,000 milligrams of testosterone per week for 1 year video, I would highly, highly recommend you go and do that, because we're talking about what bodybuilders are doing. Well, for powerlifting, guys, I want to compare bodybuilding and powerlifting for just 1 second. In terms of high doses of testosterone, I'm just going to say, anything over, well, for this comparison, we'll say anything over 2,000 milligrams or over. So extremely high doses of testosterone, anything 2,000 milligrams or over. Yes, it works very, very well for building large amounts of muscle mass, but it works even better for strength gains. Just because, in terms of mass building, again, pros do not do any of this stuff, guys, but, in terms of pros and, people that are trying to, they don't care about their health. They just want to get as huge and jacked as possible. Again, in the bodybuilding ranks, testosterone and then other super anabolic hormones such as Anavar, Anadrol, are used at high dosages. Whereas in powerlifting, there's nothing more effective than testosterone. So I also want to say, before we climb into dosages and exactly what they're doing with testosterone and different esters, I want to say, I am probably one of the most qualified people to speak on this, just because, my background in powerlifting. I started in powerlifting before I even got into bodybuilding or anything. I was doing powerlifting. I placed second place in the nation for powerlifting, for high school, second in the nation, high school, second in the nation, teenage, And then from there, I was going to go and compete in the IPF, but I never did because there was not really any financial benefit to that at the time that I was doing that. Having said that, guys, over the course of time, I have known, USAP, or again, when I competed, that was all natural federations, drug-free powerlifting. But I know a lot of guys that moved on into obviously, non-tested, and guys, that's really what people want to see. People, the drug-free powerlifting federations, yeah, that's got some, it's got some hype, it's got some image and priority to it, but nothing like the world class or USA powerlifting associations that are non-tested. That's just, people want to see massive, crazy weights and just huge guys. So I know, powerlifters that compete at the top level. Somebody I used to train with, it'd be fun because we'd go to the gym together, and I know these competitors. Anyways, one of these guys almost squatted 1,000 pounds, and we used to train together all the time. So I know what I'm very well versed, and I know what I'm talking about. So let's get into it. Here we go. So what are they doing? A baseline, guys. Baseline, at the top level powerlifters, testosterone, cypionate or enanthate, they don't really care which. They'll mix and match. It doesn't matter. Whatever they have on hand. But testosterone, cypionate or enanthate, 2,500 milligrams per week, about going up to 4,000 milligrams, all the way up to 5,000 milligrams. And I'm sure there's people that go higher, but this is just, what I know for certain, that I can say for certain, this is what powerlifters are doing. Okay, again, based off of people I know and elite powerlifting coaches that I also know. So again, a baseline for an elite powerlifter, or some of the world's strongest men, we're talking 2,500 milligrams of testosterone, cypionate or enanthate per week, or whatever they have on hand. 4,000 milligrams up to 5,000 milligrams. Again, based on just what I know, and I'm sure there's people that go higher than this, but this is important to talk about, because if you think that you're going to get into powerlifting, and let's say you're a really strong person, I guess I'm a great example of this. When I was 16 years old, sophomore in high school, I was benching 335 pounds naturally. I could bench that twice naturally. And again, my genetics for building muscle and strength are, I'd say, phenomenal. I chose the right parents for that. Having said that, if I think that I'm going to be, one of the best powerlifters, and I'm not going to have to, do this. No, this is what the guys with the crazy freak, powerful, strength genetics are doing. We're talking, again, just what I can confirm, up to 5,000 milligrams of testosterone, cypionate or enanthate per week. Again, whatever they have on hand. So guys, again, if you think you're going to be an elite powerlifter, or do strength sports and not have to take tons of testosterone, you're wrong. People want to win, and again, people want to see this stuff. So, going from here, this is the baseline. Testosterone is the greatest anabolic steroid of all time for strength gains, and it's going to stay that way. The Russians figured this out when the Russian Olympic team whipped USA, even though Dr. John Ziegler, who's also a scientist, he created Anabol for the US Olympic team. Go look this stuff up, guys. A lot of this stuff is crazy. Okay, the US has made a lot of, or I should say, the US, scientists and doctors have made a lot of these, competitive anabolic steroids, just because, USA and, Russia, all of the competition. And that's obviously old school. I have no idea what's going on now, but that's just the origins. Having said that, guys, why testosterone? Again, because it works. Because it works extremely, extremely well for strength gains, and there's nothing that really works quite like it. We talked about testosterone, in my other video. I talked about testosterone for building muscle. It works amazingly, but testosterone works even better for building strength gains, for raw, hard strength gains. And this reason, guys, why does it work better for strength than for mass? Easy question to answer. It works much, much better. Well, quite a bit better for, it works amazing for mass. You know, I'm not gonna, if you take, and don't do this, guys, because like, again, you're gonna, over time, you're gonna clog your arteries full of plaque. That's the worst side effect of high doses of testosterone, especially combined with, you know, all the food the powerlifters are consuming. But anyways, you know, if you take, hypothetically, don't do this, but if you take, you know, 2,500 milligrams, we'll start at the bottom line. If you take 2,500 milligrams of testosterone, cypionate or enanthate tomorrow, let's say, for example, you live in Mexico, you can just walk into the pet store, walk out with 10 bottles of testosterone. Or if you live in any of these, you know, a lot of the European countries or even the Middle East, it's all legal. You can just walk in, walk out with testosterone. But anyways, let's say you do that. You walk out with 10 bottles of testosterone, and tomorrow you start testosterone cypionate or enanthate, pharmaceutical grade, 2,500 milligrams per week. Yeah, you're going to get huge. You're going to build tons and tons of muscle. But in comparison to the strength gains, you're going to get even better strength gains than muscle gains. And again, the reason, listen up, guys, the reason for this is DHT, dihydrotestosterone, which testosterone converts to. So in the bloodstream in the male body, testosterone converts into DHT, also known as dihydrotestosterone, via the 5-alpha enzyme. And it's also going to convert into estrogen via the aromatase enzyme. So the estrogen, yeah, it's going to add bloating, it's going to add water retention, and add a little bit of strength just because you're getting a little bit more weight and you know, pressure, especially in the abdominal region. But the main strength gains, almost all of it's going to come from DHT, dihydrotestosterone. Dihydrotestosterone, again, DHT, which testosterone converts into, especially in huge amounts when you're taking these very high doses of testosterone. What's going to happen is that you're not only strengthening the central nervous system and the neurological component. Think again, your CNS and your ability of your CNS to fire stronger electrical signals into your muscles, harder contractions, everything. So that's going to happen. But also taking these high doses of testosterone is going to increase basically your total output. It's going to increase how hard your muscles can physically contract. So even if you go on TRT, let's say you're somebody with low testosterone, even if you go on TRT, again, I'm doctor prescribed 250 milligrams per week. I've only been doing 200 because, you know, I'm gaining fine at 200 milligrams. I don't need to go to 250. But bottom line, guys, you know, even if you go from the low end of the testosterone range, let's say you take 250 milligrams a week, you're going to notice a huge output increase in the amount of work you can do, endurance, and also the output in being able to push past failure and just literally push your muscles harder. Your CNS is going to be stronger. So you're getting neurological central nervous system strength gains. Besides that, guys, we talked about testosterone, cypionate, and enanthate. Let's talk about what else they're doing. So again, testosterone, cypionate, or enanthate, 200, 5,000 milligrams per week, going up to 4,000, all the way up to 5,000 milligrams. Again, you know, what I can confirm. Having said that, what a huge, huge powerlifting thing that they love to do, you know, whether it's, you know, powerlifting or other strength sports, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but I want to say it for people that, you know, aren't sure. Not only do they do the testosterone, cypionate, or enanthate interchangeably, but they also add in, you know, especially before training or before meets, testosterone suspension or testosterone no ester. Why? Testosterone cypionate is basically just testosterone crystals suspended in water. It's literally straight testosterone. So when they take a shot of that, their testosterone goes, you know, exponential. You could raise your testosterone level 100 times a normal male. You know, 100 times where I'm at currently. You could shoot your testosterone up. You're not going to get 100 times stronger, obviously, but you're going to get really, really, really pumped, tons of energy, and, you know, you're going to feel like Superman. You're going to feel like, you know, absolute Superman. So not only are you going to be willing to, you know, push your... You get the psychological component of, if you've seen some of these powerlifting meets where these guys are, they're getting, their teammates are slapping them in the face or hitting them, hit literally pretty much, weak punch. They're all pretty much weak punching them in some of these crazy powerlifting meets or strongman events. They're smacking them upside the head. They're getting all pumped, and so not only, if you're taking testosterone suspension or testosterone now ester, not only are you going to skyrocket your testosterone levels, up to like 100-fold, temporary. This only lasts for a couple hours. You get the psychological component, which I already talked about, but then you're going to get the physical component that, basically you're going to release a lot more adrenaline. You're going to get stronger from that. And, for a short time, you're going to be able to output, a lot. Again, you're going to be able to output a lot more forceful muscle contractions on the individual fibers. And what do you hear about in powerlifting meets or during these really intense training sessions? A lot of torn muscles. People rip the tendons right off the bone. That's, I know somebody who was squatting, I think it was like 900, almost 1,000 pounds. He ripped his quadricep tendon straight off. Okay, so, don't do any of this stuff, guys. I'm sure there's going to be some, powerlifters watching this video, and they're going to, they're nodding their head. Yeah, that was crazy, man. I shouldn't have done that. But this is what it takes, to be. This is what the strongest men in the world are doing. A lot of them. So testosterone suspension, we talked about that. Testosterone, micronized crystals dissolved or suspended in water. Shake it up and they take that. Otherwise, testosterone, no ester, and this is rather new. This is testosterone with no ester, just as it says. And what they do is they add lots of solvents, benzobenzenate and other stuff, and they basically dissolve it right into oil. And this is huge too, because they'll take this and it's almost the same effect, but I believe testosterone no ester is going to get more popular than suspension just because it doesn't hurt anywhere near as much. That's just, again, what I hear. It doesn't hurt anywhere near as much as testosterone suspension because those crystals are actually just floating around in water. So again, guys, this stuff is crazy. This stuff is absolutely nuts. Like I said at the beginning, I don't recommend it, but the thing that you're going to do, the worst thing from taking all this testosterone is you're going to clog up your arteries full of plaque. It's just it's pretty much inevitable, and that's a sad reason. That's a sad reason that you hear a lot of these powerlifters or strongmen, these people, they pass away at 40 or 50. They're slamming all this testosterone. It's going to shoot their blood pressure really high. That's not good for your artery walls either, and a big contributing factor, by the way. But they're taking all this testosterone, and then they're slamming this food year after year after year, and the arteries don't like it, to say the least. And it's. But again, you want a sharper sword. It cuts both ways. So again, this is just, we're talking about, unbiased, uncensored, unleashed, the greatest anabolic steroid for strength gains, and that is testosterone. Guys, that's pretty much it. Seth Spartan, stay safe, stay healthy. Don't do any of the stuff we talked about, like I said at the beginning of the video, and just stick to a TRT or an HRT. Again, if you go to Prometheus HRT or any good testosterone or hormone replacement clinic, they can bump you up right to the peak, right to the peak where you were when you were 18. You feel great, feel awesome, you can get strong. Again, guys, I talked about this already, but, I'm only doing 200 milligrams right now. I'm doctor approved for 250. 200 milligrams puts me at about 1,000. 250 puts me at about 1,200, which is at the very tip top of the U.S. range for testosterone. And, at just 200 milligrams a week, I'm benching about right about 315 12 times. So it's not like, I'm not a world-class powerlifter by any means right now, and I'm not training for that, but you can be big, strong, huge, jacked, or muscular and look good at doing things safely. Just brought up to the top of the testosterone range, and you don't have to have all these negative side effects. So, go to Prometheus HRT, use my code Spartan if you want to do hormone replacement therapy. They also offer HGH replacement too. Otherwise, as long as you're going to a good hormone replacement clinic or testosterone replacement clinic, I could care less. But bottom line, guys, take care of your health, stay safe, stay healthy. Seth Spartan, and we are out of here.